Welcome to the weekly equities review. Printing B here. Uh, it's going to be very quick, fast and furious. This recording. So this the Dixie. We're not going to spend too much time on it. It's going to go down some more. We have a triple red here, red candle, red volume bar. MACD's red. You're going to go down some more. So we expect it to come back into this box. Be well. Let's say 92, 93 by the end of this month. So that's what we're looking for weekly. Similar story there. I think the only caution I'll put out here is next week probably come back a little bit up here to somewhere around the 97.5. There'll be a slight bounce like you had last week. You had a big bounce back up before. So I won't be surprised if we even come all the way up to here, 97.8 next week. So mind for that, but there will be more downside into next week. So that's the Dixie. Let's move on to the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, we have a good candle close on the weekly. We'd expect more upside. The only thing I would say is you could have a small pullback, and a small pullback probably might get you to 23,956. But we expect more higher prices. I think the Nasdaq will probably hit around 24.9. Let's say 24.5 first coming week. And then following that, you would expect us to hit 24.9. So that's the Nasdaq. Let's move on to the next pair. Let's move on to XPX. SPX and Nasdaq very similar. So again, very similar story. We would expect higher prices on the SPX into next week. A small pullback, maybe back to the Bollinger, sitting at 6535, and then you go higher into next week. So let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to gold. Let's have a look at gold. Let's use this one. We got volume. So gold, I have this pattern drawn here. Now I think we'll probably go slightly higher first on gold. So I think we'll just have to move this up a little bit. I think we will go slightly higher on gold before we come down because we have a green candle here. So I'd expect us to go slightly higher before we come down. But we end the last leg of the rise to the upside. So if we bring it to the daily chart, yeah, so let's put it actually on the monthly chart. We are way outside the KC channel. If we put it here and the weekly, yeah, I think I would expect us to hit maybe 3.8. I think, it's potential, or we might hit somewhere around, go slightly higher, which would be somewhere around the 3.7 area, and then continue the journey to the downside. So go higher first into next week before you having a cool down, similar to how you had here, right? So you had the big green, you had a big candle here, and then you had a big move, and then off you go, right? Okay, so that's the sort of thing I'll be expecting on gold is maybe we do another 2 or 3%. So if you would do like for example here we had about a 4% move to the upside. So if we do a 4% move from here, if we do a 4% move from here, about 4%, somewhere around the 3738. Yeah, so let's move this to 3738, somewhere there, and then after that you'll be coming down. So yeah, so that's gold. I would be you know taking shorts, some more shorts here. I've got a hedge position long, so I'll close it somewhere there, top up on my shorts, and then we'll bring it back down. So that's gold. Let's move on to the next pair, which is GBP USD. GBP USD, I think last week obviously we hit our target, and we did pull back last week. We didn't pull back into our kind of pullback zone. But yeah, we'd expect higher prices on this. Would expect it to go probably to about 4140 zone. So would expect that. So that'll be what we'd expect on GBP USD. I don't think we'll do all that next week. I think next week we probably will do probably a double top somewhere here, 138. It's possible into next week. Let's move on to the next pair. Oil. I think we looked at oil the last time. So oil on the weekly chart, we had a bit of a mini bounce on oil. I think you potentially would get another bounce into next week, possibly, because of the way this candle closed. Although there's selling pressure, we couldn't really sell below the close of this candle. So I'd expect us maybe we try and come back up again on this. So we'll put our kind of interest line somewhere here as a rise target. It could go higher than that. It could go even up to here, but that's just that for next week. And I think that is all the kind of coins we want to look at in terms of the equities. And we'll do another video on cryptos today and tomorrow. So I wish you all the best. This is no financial advice, it's just what I'm doing and sharing it. So take with a bit of pinch of salt and do your own research and be accountable for your trades. And I wish you all the best. God bless.